Right, everybody. So this is my brand new Elite Nav 1.4 Turbo. It's only done 5,400 miles. It's in very good condition, no dings or dents or anything like that. Unfortunately, the previous owner was a disabled lady, and for reasons that are obvious to everybody, she couldn't quite clean it to the standards that I would have liked the car to be when I bought it. Not to mention that she seemed to park it under a tree. So in the crevices and in the nooks and crannies and under the bonnet, there seems to be more moss and horrible stuff. Just horrible grit and stuff that shouldn't really be there. Just lets the car down a little bit. Dust on the engine bay, etc., like that. So what I did is, as you can see here, I covered all the electrics with some plastics and stuff. And I started by giving the engine bay a little hose down. Now, I don't use a pressure washer when I'm doing engine bays because I don't want to force water into places that it shouldn't go. But using it on, just a gentle mist, you can give everything a bit of a soak. Rub it all down with a nice microfiber towel and some soapy water. Get into all the nooks and crannies. Some people like to use brushes and stuff, but it's an engine bay. It's meant to be dirty to some extent, so I'm not going in to be perfect. But I go in there and I go and rinse it all down after I've washed it all, give it a quick dry, and leave the bonnet open. As you can see, even while wet, it all of a sudden looks better. It looks 10 times better, and it's still wet, so it's going to get better. So next up, I move on to the wheels while the bonnet is open and the engine is drying. Um, Wheels I always like to do first. They get washed again later when you do the bodywork, but it's always nice to get the majority of the crap off a wheel. Otherwise, all you're going to do later on when you're washing the car is spray it back up the car. These are some more shots now of the engine bay once it's dried a little bit more. I'm about ready to wash the car, so it's a case of this is where it needs to be closed. But as you can see, it's 1,000 times better, and I'm happy with it. Not perfect, but better nonetheless. Now, in regards to washing the car, I always like to start with a nice thick layer of snow foam. Now, there's thousands of different brands, thousands of different types, but the main purpose of snow foam, which many people don't actually understand, is not to wash the car, but to actually help soften and lift the dirt from the paintwork, so that when you do come to wash the car, it doesn't scrape it all over the paintwork. Now, it's always best to leave it to soak for a while, and then when you do come to swill it off, you want to give it a nice thorough swill. You don't want any of the snow foam left on the car. Some people reapply snow foam again just before washing the car, to help add in suds and stuff. But I never really find this necessary, and all it does is just means you're pushing the wrong type of cleaning material around the car. So once all that's done, obviously I jump into washing the car. And as you can see here, I walk around the car quite a few times, and the reason for that is I work from top to bottom. I don't like to do it side by side or panel by panel. I work around the car, and it makes sure that I don't lift any dirt from the bottom of the car up, essentially. Um, it's just something I do. I'm not sure it's 100% necessary at this point, but every little helps and all that sort of stuff. When it comes to actually washing the car off again, rinsing it back down, this is the part where you want to make sure you get everything off the car, because you don't want to be drawing soap and stuff like that. You want to make sure that it's completely clear of anything to do with washing, any dirt, etc. This is the point the car is going to be the cleanest, because ironically, after this point, you're going to add stuff onto it, things like polishes and stuff like that. So it's the most pure the car's going to get. Now we're into this part of the video now, and all I'm doing is showing you that when I start the car for the first time after washing my engine bay, I've got absolutely no issues. The headlights still work, there's no errors, no warnings. The park brake release, absolutely fine. It starts up first time with no issues. Those little noises you heard just as it started was basically my little dash cam. That's booting up. There's no errors there or no noises that you shouldn't be familiar with other than that noise. As you can see, when I'm reversing the car back a little bit, you can see the parking sensors are all still work. Everything's absolutely fine. At this point, however, nature struck. So I quickly took a few photos while it's in this state, but I didn't actually get a chance to carry on at this point. I would have liked to have carried on showing you how to drive the car, how to prep the car, how to prepare it, and fix a few little issues here and there with the car, such as any slight imperfections in the paintwork. But the heavens opened and it got covered in horrible rainwater. Now, what this means for me is I will end up having to wash the car again and do it all again to make sure that I can dry it without drying horrible rain minerals and stuff into the car. Not an issue. I got the main reason for washing the car today, which was to give it a thorough deep clean in all the nooks and crannies and get that engine bay back up to how it should look for a car with only 5,600 miles. So, yep, there we go. That's me washing my car. Albeit incomplete because of the weather. But hopefully some of you have taken something from this. And like I said, don't be afraid to clean your engines. Have a good day.